now we are being joined by the MD of Dhanuka Agritech, Mr. M.K. Dhanuka, to know more about the growth outlook of the company. What is the capex plan for the Dahej plant and more? Firstly, Mr. Dhanuka, thank you so much for joining us today at ET Now. My first question to you is on your revenue. This time we have seen that growing by 16% on a YOY basis. But could you please break down the revenue growth in terms of the price and the volumes this time around? And which segments were the main drivers of revenue growth for you?
Price increase was around 4 to 5% and 11% was the increase in the volumes. So that way overall around 16% growth was there. And the herbicide and fungicide segment has done well. We have better visibility in herbicides and fungicides, while insecticide has basically given little dent because of the less pest attack in the fields.
Okay, but Mr. Dhanuka, if we see your margins, then that has a bit decline on a YOY basis, and that's largely driven by some of the cost pressures. Are you planning on undertaking any kind of price hikes to mitigate this?
Yeah, every month we are taking price hike. Sometimes it happens that 100% price increase is not being able to pass to the consumer because of the market forces and the competition. So 50% price increase is passed in that month and 50% is deferred for passing on to the consumer in the next month.
Okay, but Mr. Dhanuka, if we see, then you have several capex plans that are underway, and not just that, the company is actually focusing on exports as well. What are your strategy on capitalizing on the export opportunities, and what is the incremental revenue expected from these projects?
We are coming out with a greenfield project at Dahej for manufacturing of technical grade pesticides. So exports is possible mainly for technicals because you have to export a huge quantity for formulations. While formulation is easy and the importer can do the formulation in his own country. Considering the logistics and the freight cost increase, it is also now more viable to export the technicals in comparison to the formulation. So when we are starting our Dahej unit for technical manufacturing, it is the right time to start the export division, and we initially will do with those countries where the registration requirement is not there. Simultaneously, our R&D department will work for registration of the molecules in the developed nations, and gradually on receipt of the registrations from the developed nations, we will start operations in those countries also.
Okay, Mr. Dhanuka, would like to know your take on what has been the impact of the curbs in China on companies' inputs. Actually, what percentage of the company's raw material are sourced from China, and what is the supply side situation looking like and the outlook ahead?
Approximately 10% of the raw material consumption imports are coming from China and 15% is coming from Japan. So definitely because of the COVID increase in the China, the shipments from China were delayed. Apart from this, the Shanghai port was closed for 1.5 months, and due to which the shipment was taking long time. But the situation is improving. The Shanghai port has also started working, and we hope that from June onwards, the supply situation will be much more comfortable. The prices now have basically stopped increasing further. Either they are stagnant or in few of the molecules, the prices are started coming down also.
So much, sir, for taking our time for us. Always good to get perspective from you.